Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your program, The Africa Today on Nile TV International, where it is focusing over the African affairs and discussing the news and developments in the African continent, ladies and gentlemen, and starting our episode by the Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati has stressed that Somalia is a cornerstone for the Arab, African and Egyptian national security. He said some of the parties are trying to turn the region into a regional rivalry zone which jeopardized the stability in the Red Sea. This came during a dialogue session over Somalia held on the sidelines of the Doha Forum in Qatar. He said that the Egyptian policy with regards to Somalia is based on basic principles, at top of which support for the unity and sovereignty and Somalia and rejection to any the unilateral measures aimed at imposing a status quo. And he also stressed the importance of the mandate of the AU's mission in Somalia as the primary mechanism to achieve the stability, adding that Egypt's participation in the mission reflects this strategic commitment. Also, during the meeting, the Somali's President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud on the sidelines of the Doha Forum, both sides discussed boosting bilateral ties, and during the meeting, Abdelati also expressed unwavering support for Somalia and keenness to boost the security and stability in the Horn of Africa region in the Red Sea. And to shed more light over this issue, we are much delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Raouf Saad, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. Hello, Mr. Ambassador.
Hello.
Welcome to Nile TV International on Africa. Please, sir, can you tell me and describe the importance of the stability of the Horn of Africa for the Egyptian, Arab and the African regions, as stated by the Foreign Minister during his talks with the Somali President?
Well, I think this, if you are talking about the Horn of Africa, then you should talk about Somalia as one of the main pillars of the Horn of Africa, which is an area which being subjected to different challenges and sometimes threats in this regard. So I think the Egyptian diplomacy is acting in a very balanced and prudent manner in order to support Somalia, in order to stand up for the challenges that it's facing, particularly that it's going through a severe economic crisis, as well as being subjected to the very dangerous terrorism, that has been continuing for many years. Somalia, as well as the Horn of Africa, represents and constitutes part of the national security for Egypt. So, and it's for Somalia, Egypt is could be the main country that could render its support for Somalia, and with a view to reaching a kind of stability, which would help very much, in order to spread the culture and the spirit of peace and security and stability in this region.
Yes, well, Mr. Ambassador, the Foreign the Minister also warned during his talks with the Somali President that some parties are trying to turn the region into a regional zone of the rivalry zone, which can jeopardize. How would you elaborate on this statement, Mr. Ambassador?
Excuse me, I think it's to send what, sorry?
Okay, sorry, can you hear me well? How do you see the developments in Somalia with the regards to the threats to the sovereignty?
Well, as I was saying, that Somalia is subject to different challenges, including the terrorism threats that are being imposed on it within Somalia, as well as challenges are coming from the Horn of Africa itself around. So Egypt is the country that, well, not only can support Somalia, but it should do that because, as I was saying, this is part of the security for Egypt in terms of the African interest, the kind of geographical and geopolitical situation that links between the Horn of Africa and Egypt, as well as between Somalia and Egypt. Egypt has a very successful experience, on both the economic aspect as well as in mitigating terrorism. I think the experience and expertise of Egypt and launching a comprehensive strategic economic reforms, economic and social reform, as well as its very successful experience, in containing terrorism, are very much needed for Somalia in order to face up, these kind of challenges, because Somalia, with the poor economic situation that it suffers from, and with the few resources available for the country, cannot do that, unless it's being supported by an honest and effective support that comes only from Egypt.
Sir, what are the common threats face Cairo and Mogadishu, in your point of view?
Common what, sorry?
Common threats can face Cairo and Mogadishu.
Well, both countries, are both African, Arab countries, and they have a kind of common culture. Whether you're talking about, the culture, the religion, the common interests, and the geographic situation. And as I said, I mean, the link, is the Horn of Africa, which is to Egypt and to Somalia, is a kind of a strategic territory, which combines the two countries. But one country is under very dangerous and challenging threats, for its stability and for continuing its economic development. And mind you, I mean, the less you are the country is developing economically and socially, the more it's subjected to challenges. Because that would weaken its ability to resist, to be resilient to the kind of challenges. And that's why the Egyptian support is really crucial and strategic for Somalia. Which is, there is a point which we'll have to stress: the kind of confidence that Somalia has in Egypt, because they know that Egypt is such a big civilized country that supports with its assistance without having a hidden agenda. This is something we'll have to be very clear about it. We don't have, our agenda is clear and public, that we have a strategic interest in the stability of Somalia as well as in Horn of Africa. Mind you, in this regard, that Egypt as well is subjected to different challenges from the Horn of Africa altogether.
Ambassador Raouf Saad, the former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much for joining us on Nile TV International and for your insightful information. And ladies and gentlemen, continuing our episode, for the Foreign Minister Badr Abdel-Ati and his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov discussed regional and international issues of the mutual concern, with a particular focus on crisis in Africa and the Middle East. More in the following report. Sudan was a top issue discussed between Egypt and Russia. This came during a phone call between Foreign Minister Badr Abdel-Ati and his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov on Friday. During the call, Abdel-Ati highlighted Egypt's efforts within the framework of the Quad mechanism to halt the conflict and preserve the unity and territorial integrity of the Sudanese state. The two sides also addressed issues in the region. According to the Egyptian Foreign Ministry, both sides addressed the close bilateral relations and the growing momentum in various areas of cooperation, particularly in economic and trade fields. Abdel-Ati expressed Egypt's pride in the strategic partnership linking both countries, which serve as a governing framework for bilateral cooperation across various sectors.
According to the Egyptian Foreign Ministry, the call comes as part of the ongoing coordination and consultation between Cairo and Moscow. They reviewed progress on a Dabaa plant. Also during the phone call, both sides addressed the developments in the Gaza Strip, where the Egyptian Foreign Minister stressed the importance of implementing UN Security Council Resolution 2803 and advancing the second phase of US President Donald Trump's peace plan. Addressing the situation in Lebanon, Abdel-Ati reiterated Cairo's firm position in support of Lebanon's unity, sovereignty, security and stability. The call touched on the Iranian nuclear file too.
And so Washington, D.C. has hosted the draw for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, producing a highly compelling set of the group match-ups for Africa's 9 representatives. More in the following detail report.
The draw for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, held on Friday, 5th of December in Washington, D.C., produced historic and highly compelling set of group match-ups for Africa's 9 representatives. The ceremony, staged at the Kennedy Center in the presence of U.S. President Donald Trump, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, revealed the full tournament pathway for the first ever 48-team World Cup. Africa will have 9 teams confirmed at the finals, with possible 10th if DR Congo advanced through the Intercontinental Playoff in March. Morocco dropped Brazil in blockbuster Group C. The Atlas Lions, Africa's top-ranked side and semi-finalist in 2022, headline Group C alongside Brazil, Scotland and Haiti. Their opening clash against Brazil is immediately one of the most anticipated group games of the tournament.
And to Morocco, where the country profile Morocco, officially the Kingdom of Morocco is a North African nation, and its coastlines are on the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea, with the diverse geography from mountainous to deserts and the historic sites. More in the following report.
Morocco, a country in the Maghreb region of North Africa. It has coastlines on the Mediterranean Sea to the north and the Atlantic Ocean to the west. Its capital is Rabat, its largest city is Casablanca, and Islam is the state religion, with Arabic and Berber as official languages, alongside widespread use of French. Morocco functions as a constitutional monarchy, with the king holding significant power. The region constituting Morocco has been inhabited since the Paleolithic era, more than 300,000 years ago. Morocco's strategic location near the mouth of the Mediterranean drew European interest. In 1912, France and Spain divided the country into respective protectorates, reserving an international zone in Tangier. Following intermittent riots and revolts against colonial rule, in 1956, Morocco regained its independence and reunified. Morocco is a unitary semi-constitutional monarchy with an elected parliament. The executive branch is led by the King of Morocco and the Prime Minister, while legislative power is vested in the 2 chambers of parliament, the House of Representatives and the House of Councillors. Moroccan architecture reflects Morocco's diverse geography and long history, marked by successive waves of settlers through both migration and military conquest. This architectural heritage includes ancient Roman sites, historic Islamic architecture, local vernacular architecture, 20th century French colonial architecture, and modern architecture.
And ladies and gentlemen, by this we come to the end of our Africa Today for this edition. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. We have more to come on Nile TV International. This was Sahar Talov.